we cannot really run away from the fact that the FX was scarce. It was true. And then when you're in a situation of scarcity, what we have to do is how do you optimize whatever you have? And that was one of the decisions. And also, we also want to increase productivity and generate employment within the economy. And that we did, that we achieved succeeded in achieving, because basically those producing, I'll give you a typical example under which we were ridiculed. We were ridiculed because we said, we mentioned toothpick. Even the Financial Times mentioned it. But today, in Ogun State, we have a farm producing toothpick, which is 25% cheaper than their greatest competitor from China. And of course, everybody is patronizing that, and they have created jobs for more than 500 Nigerians. This is what we look forward to. Because for you and I, and of course, based on that now, things have improved. There's liquidity, FS liquidity in the market, and that is very, very obvious the way.
If you're talking about, I'm sure you're talking about the company in Ogun State, and this is no PR for any of these companies mentioned by the central bank. These are just information that the central bank has put together. So if you put that on TV screen, it's no advertorial for anyone. I need to put that caveat very quickly there, because you're mentioning companies. But,
but I didn't mention the name.
But you didn't mention the name. but it's there. So if you look at the toothpick as one of what you can call the most basic that we consume, but we spend petrodollars to import. Now, our ability to do all of this depends on the availability of FX. So if it's toothpick or agro-allied, in every part of Nigeria, and companies that we have some of the information here about what they've seen, a growth, as it were. Do you think this pot of money, and this is where the conversation still really is, as this is sustainable or unsustainable, this steady inflow, nearly $10 billion?
Definitely. The very day this started, people have talked about sustainability. And we know since April, people are still talking about sustainability. We've done 5 months. And of course, you can see the reserve is growing and people are producing. The important thing is that there's availability of foreign exchange. And another issue is the fact that the supply is accessible. It is not just being available, it's accessible. Because every sector of the economy, whether SME, whether in large industries, whether those who need them for school fees, whether those who need them for paying for medical bills, they can access the foreign exchange from the official window. And that is part of the thing that is part of the reason why today you see that the exchange rate has remained relatively stable over a long period of time.
How long will the central bank be pumping FX into the market? Because folks believe that the central bank should do less and allow the private sector to be the primary supplier. Do you think we have the private sector that has enough deep pocket to keep the FX market afloat?
If we talk about central bank pumping money into the market, I will tell you, if you look at the I and in window, the central bank doesn't intervene in that window. And that is a window that has brought in almost $10 billion in the last 4 months since April, between April and now. The central bank don't intervene in that window, and that is a window that has been supplying a major bulk, the industry, the investors, and the importers. So the central bank only intervene in the invisible market, and of course, the invisible market, the small and medium enterprises. And the reason why we still do that is those are the people which we feel don't still have the muscle to participate in this other market. But as soon as they begin to get stronger, I think they can also participate, and they can. And nobody actually restrained them. If the SM&E feels that it cannot wait for central bank, they can go to that window. And of course, you see there's a glut in that window currently, given where the rate is currently trading.
Well, anytime I have the opportunity, I keep thinking, the 41 items, how soon will these FX restrictions be lifted on them, or will you begin to do selective deletion of some items?
Sincerely speaking, when you talk about 41 items, given the way we are going and the production of that particular product by Nigeria, even though people keep talking about lifting this, I thought by now we should actually be talking about forgetting them, since we are already having replacement for them. People are already producing them. So what are we talking about actually lifting those bans? But the issue is, if FX is available and people think they have enough foreign exchange to bring them in, well, they're cool if they can compete with local production. That is the main issue.
But if you're not removing some items from the list, are you likely to add more?
We have had suggestions that we should add before. As a matter, we had to restrain ourselves, and mainly also from the manufacturers themselves. They wanted us to add some items, but for a while we have not really added. So we just wanted this to permeate through the system.
Why did you resist this call for the central bank to add more to the 41 items? Maybe by now we'll have 50 or 60 items.
Yes, because the one we did, we can see the dissenting voice. Why some believe in it, others don't believe. And when you have a situation where you have a non-concurrence, I think it's better to stay where you are instead of causing more problems for yourself. When this works through the system, then those other ones naturally will fall in place.
Going back to the FX market, do you still think we have, some folks believe that the Naira should still be more, more flexible? Fitch Ratings last week Friday says the market is still not truly transparent enough, than the IE window should be considered the effective Naira-dollar market rate.
Essentially speaking, when you talk of IE window being considered effective dollar window, virtually all the markets have almost converged. Because what is the rate at the IE window? IE window is currently trading about 363, 365. And then you go to the BDC market. BDC is at 363, 365. And then, of course, the intervention we have for both visible SME is at 360. So 360, 365, what is the difference? The only window which they can talk about is still the intervention of the central bank at the official window, which is at 305. So basically, we have two windows because the other window have virtually almost converged, which is the IIE and the other segments.
We'll finish off with the FX conversation after the break. Then we go to what we call the Anchor Borrowers Program, Agriculture, and other sectoral interventions. Emmanuel Okeje, Special Assistant to the Governor of the Central Bank, live here in the studios, an exclusive interview. We'll be right back in 2.